Hey friends, it's a crazy time out there. I don't know about you, but I've talked to a lot of people that are really concerned about how are they going to provide for their family, how they're going to provide for their kids, what's going to happen to their job, what's going to happen to their line of work now that so many changes have happened in the economy. Well, if that's you, I want to invite you to this training I'm doing, Success During COVID. Now, this is the quarantine edition because so many things have changed in the past couple weeks. But we're going to be looking not at surviving, not at staying alive, but I want to show you some strategies you can put in place to actually thrive during this time, to grow during this time, to grow your impact, your influence, your income, to grow your income during this time. We're going to take a look at that. Hi, my name is Jarrod Haning. I'm with Mindset Performance. And what I do is I train people how to think at a higher level about solving problems. Now, we use a Nobel Nominated process to do this, and as a result of this training, many of my clients go on to double their income by working half as many hours. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just simply the byproduct of learning to think at a higher level about the problems that you're facing. If you can imagine, if you're in a corn maze and you get to the end of the row, you might not be sure if you should go left or right. But if you were to stand on a ladder, suddenly it's no mystery, right? You can see the whole thing. Oh my gosh, it's so obvious from here. Now that seems obvious, but notice the difference between I'm not sure what to do and oh, it's so obvious. That difference was only about 3 feet. That's the power of learning how to think at a higher level. Now in this training coming up, there's 3 things that we're going to go over that will empower you not just to survive during this time, but to absolutely thrive and to come out of it bigger and better because you grew your income during this time, you grew your influence during this time, you grew the impact that you're making with others during this time. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is mindset. Now, oh my gosh, but Jarrod, I'm so tired of hearing about mindset this and mindset that. I want to show you a couple things about mindset that will radically change the way you see the opportunities around you. You know, in every city, there is somebody making $50,000 a year, and there is somebody across the country in the same size city with the same size support staff in the same industry with the same demographics who's making $500,000 a year. Everything else is the same except mindset. So I want to show you a couple ways that you can access different parts of your brain on demand to start to think at a higher level to get that stuff cleared up so that you're seeing opportunities and you're able to take advantage of them to increase your influence, to increase your income during this time, even during quarantine, and to increase your impact. Now, the second thing we're going to look at is the tools, specific strategies that you can put in place to do those things. One of the problems during times like this is we just end up clobbered with anxiety and stress and fear. One day we might see a great news headline and we've got hope for tomorrow. The next day we wake up, oh no, and it feels like it's the end of the world. And when you're in that spot where your mind is just racing and the anxiety is kicking in, you can't even think straight. It's so frustrating. So I want to show you some tools you can put in place to clear that up so that you're free again to create something that works for you. Also, sometimes during quarantine, we get locked into these miserable relationship cycles where conversations aren't working, and now we feel even more stifled as individuals. We have a loss of freedom, a loss of power, and a loss of self-expression. I want to show you some tools, some conversation patterns that you can access to increase your sense of freedom, even during quarantine, and your sense of self-expression during quarantine especially, so that isn't stifling your spirit. I want to show you how to unlock some of those conversations, but also tools that we have for taking advantage of new income opportunities during this season, for taking advantage of new growth opportunities during this season. So we're going to look at tools for your clarity in your mind, confidence in your spirit, and certainty in your soul. I'm going to magnify that. And then the third thing we're going to look at is some of the skills. It's not just a matter of having the right tool, right? If you give the right tool to somebody that can't even recognize it, it's of no use. You give the right tool to somebody that doesn't know how to use it, it's of no use. So we're going to look at some skills because part of your success during this time is going to be contingent on your willingness to have uncomfortable conversations. Uncomfortable conversations with yourself, uncomfortable conversations with other people. But if you're willing to do that, I promise you, with these tools, you'll be able to have more clarity in your mind, more confidence in your heart, more certainty in your soul. Not only growing your income, but your impact with others and your influence. So we'll look at the skills to implement those tools. Just sign up here. I'll get you access to the training, the day and the time, and you can get your questions coming in because I want to see you thriving during this time of uncertainty. I'll see you on the other side.